You know, I've learnt something since I've been here. They're not called fire engines, they're called fire appliances. Those were modern fire appliances. But look at this one. This is an old fire appliance. It was made in 1883, and Station Officer Gibbs is going to tell me all about it. First of all, where did they find this?
In a barn. Wootton is a small village just outside Dorking, between Dorking and Guildford, and these sort of appliances in those days would be used for the village fires that occur in the village. This one was in fact found in an old barn at Wootton, and some firemen from the Dorking fire station then renovated it, and in fact it is now in very good working order.
Why is it painted blue?
Well, before the turn of the century this was a colour, but there was no set colour in those days. It was only when we became more motorised that the fire appliances generally became red. Even now, though, up and down the country, we're changing over in some areas to yellow fire appliances because they show up better.
And what would have happened if there was a fire?
In the event of a fire, one of two things would happen. Either the men would come from the estate or anybody around, grab hold of the lines you see on here and drag the thing manually to the fire, or if there was a horse available, of course, it's a horse-drawn thing.
Oh, I see. So the horse went at this end?
The horse went to the front,
yeah,
and the driver up the top, and of course away it went to the particular fire wherever it occurred. But then we would have a situation where we would need to pump it, because to get water onto the fire, we would need to pump on these large handles, these extended handles. And generally then you would find that all the onlookers, be they children, women, men, would pump merrily away, as you will see our lads doing in a moment, and the harder they pumped, the more water they got out and the higher the jet went.
And what else happened when they were pumping? Did you tell me they used to be given some liquid?
Oh yes, they used to take a barrel of beer at the same time, and when the men, I don't think the children were given too much beer, but when they became exhausted they would stop, have a pint of beer and start again, depending how long the fire goes, yes. But this was the liquid refreshment given at that time.
Lovely. Do you think we could see this working?
Yes, indeed, if we could see these firemen. These firemen that are coming around now, of course, would be trained not to operate this. They've got far more modern appliances, but they would simply come round if we move away, and you would see the harder they pump. Right, you can start pumping away now. The harder they pump, you will see the jet of water coming out from the other side there, and the water's coming from a well under here. Normally it would come from a pond or river or wherever the water supply came from. But pump harder, come on, move it on a bit, and you'll see the harder they do. Now, quite an effective fire jet,
Yes.
but it needs a dozen men to provide one of those jets. The appliances you will see later, one appliance will turn out perhaps 6 of those with one man operating.